Okay, thank you for the question. I don't know if I've heard the answers that clearly to what you said, because you actually said, do you think Theresa May is a person who's really able to deliver on that deal, considering the record so far? And I heard somebody over here bring up to my attention, thank you, about U-turns. And the first time in our history we've had U-turns in a manifesto. Before, I mean, you normally have a U-turn after the election with certain parties, but to consider they did it before the election I find slightly surprising. The position at the moment I am a bit worried about, because actually we've seen a lot of threatening. I mean, in the way that Theresa May tries to treat 27 other sovereign nations, is a bit like Trump telling Mexico to pay for the wall. And I think that's really quite worrying, because this is, Susan's right in certainly that regard, that this is the most important decision for a generation. This election, by the way, is not about the next 5 years. It's going to affect the children who aren't even born yet. And that is really important to get to the heart of that issue. Now, I know that I'm in the Lib Dem zone here, and I quite welcome as a Daniel being in the lion's den, so I'm going to go for this. I fundamentally disagree with the Liberal Democrat position on the second referendum. And before you say it's not a second referendum, I'm actually quoting what Susan said in the Cambridge Stays survey only last week. And that's the problem. I think it's a muddled way of thinking. A democratic decision was made that I don't agree with, but it's democratic. A referendum, or referenda is a plural, because it's actually a Greek word, is actually not part of our system. Yes, we can have them superimposed after onto our system, but it means that we governments push the decision out to the population. Now, what if, my Lib Dem friends, what if you have a second referendum and it turns out that Boris Johnson comes rolling back out again, going wobbly, 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 and Michael Gove comes out being vindictive and nasty and Govish, and then he says to people, you know what, you decided last time to leave the European Union, and now all these people don't want to respect your democratic decision, and by the way, it's actually £600 million an hour for the NHS. And then they decide to vote to leave the European Union. I know this because I actually worked for Cambridge Radio 5 as a volunteer. I made a programme about this for the station. I went to Peterborough, I interviewed there 15 people who all said, bar one, they wanted to vote for leave, and I cannot see them change their mind. It would mean that Parliament's hands would be tied, and then you'd be crashing out with no deal, because apparently that's better than any sort of deal whatsoever. That is why I have a slightly different option, and I hope you'll actually give me just a moment to explain. Parliament should be the place where leadership is shown in our country. And I say that it's the MPs who should decide on a free vote, not a whipped vote, because that is wrong, a free vote, if we accept the deal for our country. And I would argue personally, as your MP, if I was in that situation and I saw a car crash coming for our country, I wouldn't give away my responsibility and say, let the country decide, and then, oh, whoops, that was bad, we'll have to do it now. I would actually stand up and show leadership on this issue, and that is what we're sorely lacking when it comes to the Tory position. And unfortunately, I also think a second referendum is lacking that leadership to fight for what we believe in. So that is the Labour position, that is my position, and I'm so glad you asked that question, because I think the last things, this didn't come up, and it's something that I'm passionate about, so thank you so much for that.